So we just arrived, we're charging right now, and this is one of the slower chargers. We got our number, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So for cooling efficiency, we took off the caps as well to make the brakes, I guess. So I just charged after my first session. Good morning. Nice, bright, not bright, I guess. Early day to the start of the day here. Charged up to 100% last night, so we are leaving Los Angeles with 97%. I guess it didn't charge all the way last night. And it exactly says we're gonna get there in 2 hours to Buttonwillow race day. Woke up super early, 5:40. We're headed on our way to Buttonwillow racetrack for Tesla Corsa. It's going to be an interesting day, that is for sure. First time tracking, period, especially a Model 3 Performance, getting one of the fastest Teslas you can get out there, and we are going to be taking it today. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Tesla Model 3 Performance does on the track, and I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot of different learnings with this. So thank you for jumping in and joining us on this track day vlog. And at the end of this, I'll give a little bit of recap on what I learned about taking my Tesla to the track. I guess what's nice with this is that the drive up to Buttonwillow, it's 2 hours, but we can be on full self-driving the whole time. Sit back, relax, and let our Model 3, which this is a Model 3 Performance, a top tier performance vehicle in terms of speed, drive us comfortably to the track while we just sit here. If you're just joining in and you don't know what Tesla Corsa is, it's a track that's focused with Tesla vehicles. There's plenty of other track days that you can bring your other motorsports type of vehicles, but not Tesla. So Tesla Corsa is partnered with Unplugged Performance. Unplugged Performance is one of the top names in the Tesla performance space, where you can upgrade your vehicle with all these different suspension, wheels, and much more to make your Tesla a nicer vehicle. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. And our Model 3 Performance is actually not bone stock. We do have one of their sway bars, and we upgraded the brakes as well, just so we can have a little bit more fun at the track for Tesla Corsa. We are about 40 minutes into our trip, and it's pretty interesting to kind of take a vehicle like this because it's a comfortable vehicle for the most part driving up to the track. And to think that you can take this on the track for however long, all day, drive fast, take fast turns, be a track weapon essentially, and then just go home right after on a 2-hour drive home, sitting comfortably while you listen to tunes and everything. Of course, there's other people going to the track as well, like a Miata just passed us, and of course that might not be as comfortable on the way up or even on the way back home, but we're in a nice, comfortable, plushy Model 3 with a good sound system and autopilot as well. So on the way back, I'm probably going to be a little bit tired, but just throwing it onto full self-driving autopilot is going to be nice, especially because it's mostly a highway on the way back as well. So it's a straight shot, one lane, very easy drive. So in terms of an efficiency standpoint, like the Model 3 Performance is a great vehicle. Like if you want to be a weekend racer, take this car to the track, have a bunch of fun, and then come back home and use it as your daily driver as well. So pretty nice and great value, I would say. A little bit of a road trip update. 58 miles or 58% of the battery left. We've been driving for 58 minutes. Efficiency on the way up, it's all uphill, so it's pretty bad. 412 watt-hours per mile, and we've gone 71 miles. I think when we arrive, we should be arriving with 38% of the battery. But what's really nice with Buttonwillow is that there is a supercharger right at the track, and so we can get there immediately, charge up as much as we can, and then just turn it on cooling mode as they recommended. So it's gonna be fun to see how that works and be ready for the track when it actually starts. I think looking at the schedule, how the day is gonna go, first there's a driver meeting at 8:30 a.m. Then we're gonna be doing 2 sessions out of 4, and then there's like a lunchtime debrief type of session, and then we'll figure out after that. But looking at the schedule, this is an all-day thing, so I think there's 4 sessions in total with breaks in between each of them, so we'll have ample time to figure out how tracking a Model 3 Performance actually works. Oh man, we are getting off the highway now, basically getting into our destination at Buttonwillow. We've been driving 1 hour and 46 minutes. Full self-driving, autopilot the whole time, so this has been a great one. but I think we're gonna charge first. I think the plan is to charge first as much as we can, put on the cooling, make everything as a-okay. So let's go ahead and figure out our way there, charge up. I think there's like a gate fee of like $10 or something like that, but we're almost there, about 3 minutes away from Buttonwillow Racetrack.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I saw a sign saying Tesla charging, so I took a right, but the navigation was actually telling us to go straight, so this is pretty interesting. Okay, so I definitely went the wrong direction, but it's okay because we need to charge first, so let's go to the supercharger. So we just arrived, we're charging right now, and this is one of the slower chargers because it's only charging at 82 kilowatts and we're at 59%. The recommended charge right now is to get up to past 90% because it's going to be using a lot of energy while it's on the track, and the track that we're going to is not this one right here, it's actually on the other side, and so we have to kind of run back and forth to be able to charge. And so we're going to try and charge as much as we can right now and then head on over to there. I think driver meeting starts at like 8:30ish. So here's how the day is going to go. The first things first is we got here at 7:30. We got immediately to the supercharger because we have to charge up. There is a driver's meeting at 8:20 a.m. So that's required for everybody to kind of get a lay of the land and probably like the different rules and everything. Then the first session starts at 9 a.m. That's going to be an advanced session. I probably will try and see if I can get on a ride-along with one of the advanced drivers just to see how that goes. Then I'm going to get in the beginner session at 9:35. Then there's a couple more sessions. Then there's noon, a break. And then there's 4 more sessions after that throughout the end of the day, all the way till about 3 o'clock, and then there's a couple more bonus sessions for like passing, and then it ends at 5 o'clock throughout the end of the day. So this is a pretty full day of driving, and we're gonna learn a lot with how to take a Tesla to the track, so let's get into it. All right, so we charged to about 89%. It's gonna take us 20 minutes to get all the way to 100%. I think we're pretty much good here because the driver meeting does start at 8:20, so I've got to go ahead and unplug before we get there, and I don't want to be late because it does say it's required, and that would be a waste if we came all the way up here and wasn't able to actually get to driving. So let's go ahead and unplug it and head on over to the first meeting. All right, unplugged it, 89%. That should be good enough, right? I guess we'll see. I guess I'm curious, like when you do like a couple laps in a Model 3, like how much energy do you actually burn driving like this? So this will be interesting. Okay, so a little bit of knowledge. The superchargers are about 5 minutes away from the actual track that we're going to. And so in between laps, I bet we have to run back over here, charge up, and then go back to the track for our next session. And so it's gonna be fun to see like the logistics behind that at the end of the day. All right, so there's a bunch of other vehicles as well. Here I'm trying to figure out, okay, so I think I found our Tesla friends.
One eternity later.
So first things first, I already blew right by it and made a first mistake, but you're supposed to go into the administrative offices, sign and pay $10. It was in the email, I just drove right by it, and to get this wristband. So I went ahead and did that, and now I'm running late for the driver's meeting now. Good stuff. So a little bit of a staging area we have right here. There's like maybe like 10 Teslas, give or take, and then the racetrack is over there. I think there's a driver meeting that's gonna happen over there, and then we're gonna go do laps after this. But you guys know Moto, he's here right now as well with Unplugged Performance to get this all set up as well with Tesla Corsa. So first things first, you gotta check in at the desk, make sure you get your wristbands and everything before we get onto the track. Then we went over here and got a helmet rental because we actually don't have one, and so it's $40 to get a helmet rental for the day. But we used to have a helmet, but I think it's expired since. And then after this, there's gonna be a driver's meeting, and then we get onto the road. All right, so we got a bunch of goodies here. We got our number, which I'm gonna show you in just a second, and then we got a map because this is what I'm going to be studying to figure out which different lines I need to drive when we get onto the racetrack. All right, so we got to put our number on the car and got a little bit of a cleaner here. I don't want to get any scratches on the car, and gotta put this sticker on. And the interesting thing with this sticker is you have to put it on the left side and the right side and on the front as well. And so I think I've got a rush to do this because I think our track time starts in like 10 minutes from now. Go ahead and put that on just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then look guys, we got number 8, perfect. I think this is just so they can see who is going to be racing, or not racing, who's on the track, and it should be perfect, but it's so bad. Just like stuck it on there like that. So now let's go ahead and put this one up here, down a little bit. So I just realized we put the number on crooked. So let me go ahead and fix that. But before we do that, let me show you what this is. Pretty cool piece of paper here. It actually gives you all the different lines that you need to know when you get on the track. Like one of these turns, like you're supposed to kind of go out a little bit. Basically all the racing lines, as if like what's the most optimum and I guess the safest and fastest rolling around the track like this. But I think our first lap, we're gonna go out with Rafi, and he's gonna show us a little bit on what are the things that we need to know in terms of tips. But more importantly, safety is the key thing here when getting on the track. This is not a race, but this is more of just learning how the vehicle operates as you get out there on the track. So you're saying before we get on the track, we have to drop the pressures down to 33, 35?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, once you get your first like hot lap in and your tires start to grip, your air pressure is going to go up as a result from the temperature change.
Right.
And so you want to basically compensate on the backside so that your tire pressure is at the optimal pressure. So for these cars, a lot of the time, 42 I believe is the factory spec for the Model 3.
Gotcha.
So we want to make sure that we're kind of nearing that temperature at the hot lap,
right?
Not exceeding that around 50, because then at that point you start having some slippage, and the traction of the actual tire itself is not really doing its job. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
and so before I leave, I'd definitely make sure to pump it back up before I get on the road.
We'll get it back up to 42 accordingly.
Okay.
But for now, because it's a cold morning, we're going to start out at about 33, and then we'll gauge, and then I'll show you on the screen. You basically, when you come in from your first session, you want to like take note of what your PSI is at, so that you can compensate either a couple up or a couple down to make sure that next time you go out, it's at the perfect temperature.
Gotcha.
I mean, pressure.
That makes sense. I mean? Yeah, of course. Perfect.
Alrighty, let's see where you're at now.
So for cooling efficiency, we took off the caps as well to make the brakes, I guess, and rotors a little bit more better. I've heard that's going to be about 5% better in terms of performance by taking these caps off. So definitely shout out to the Unplugged team for helping us out with this. So of course we got a bunch of cool Teslas here. We got the Unplugged red Tesla with all the different aero kits that you've seen before in the past. We've got a silver Unplugged kit, Zach's car, a bunch of Teslas here, Model 3 Performance, and of course stock Model 3s as well. And you cannot forget a Cybertruck, Cyber Beast, I'm assuming, as well, which this is actually a second Cybertruck. That's hilarious, actually. And we've got a nice Model 3 that's also kitted out in the older kit from Unplugged Performance.
12 seconds later.
All right, we gotta put on our helmet. This is pretty, I wonder if you guys can hear me actually, but we're literally about to start. We're getting into the gridding area right now, and then we are going to be going out on the track. So because this is one of our first times, we're going in the slow lane, which is the left side.
This is the performance?
Performance, yeah. So I put it in track mode, but I don't know if we even need to do that or not yet.
We don't need it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we're fine.
Or should I put it in insane? Sport?
How do you drive?
I drove it like this.
Okay, let's do.
But I like comfort, that's why. But
let's do this.
Okay.
So you can practice with your you need to get used to the feel.
Okay.
So this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, fine. Good.
Perfect.
So I want you to move your head around.
Okay.
Look to the side. We're gonna be going pretty slow.
Okay.
Especially the first lap.
Okay.
So look around, look ahead, see where the corner workers are, see where the flags are, and also look at references. When you're driving, look around if there is like a bush, if there is a crack on the asphalt.
Okay.
Just something that's gonna help you as a reference.
Okay. Like get familiar with the track.
Yes. also want to be smooth with your steering. We want to be smooth with your feet. We want to keep your hands at 9 and 3
Okay.
at all times.
Yep.
And you know, those are some basics.
So 2 feet or 1 foot?
How do you normally drive?
Just 1 foot.
That's fine.
Okay.
But be smooth. What I mean is like, don't do this.
Okay.
Don't do that. Or don't do this.
So one motion.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. Gradual.
Yeah.
But on both acceleration and brake.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Once you develop confidence and practice, and later on, then you can be a little more aggressive.
Oh, I
But
see,
for
I see.
now, we want to be smooth. Racing, it's all about weight management.
Okay.
Right now, though the car is stationary, right now you have, let's say you have equal amount of weight on each of the 4 wheels.
Okay.
Once you start to drive, that weight starts to transfer. It transfers to the front, it transfers to the back, it transfers left, it transfers right. So when you don't manage that weight correctly, the car gets out of balance and you go off or you spun out.
Okay, gotcha.
So weight management, it's important. Do your thing. There you go. You go through both of them and then you come back to the middle. Because there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Got it?
Right here.
On our first lap, when we're on the yellow, we're gonna be going pretty slow, no passing.
Okay.
I want you to wave at all of the corner workers where they have flags. I want
Okay.
you to wave.
Okay.
Just for you to be familiar where they are.
Right. That makes sense.
So wave. Good. Okay, you have an idea of the racing line and an apex. There's another guy.
A few moments later.
So I just charged after my first session, and that was definitely intense. I mean, I've done like the PS5 sim racing console, things like that, and I even had like a steering wheel at one point with the seat, chair, and everything. But doing this in person is well worth it. It actually is a much different experience. You get a lot more feedback, you get the wind noise, the air, everything, and to really take your vehicle out on the track and see what it's capable of is a fun experience as well. And so definitely shout out to the team at Tesla Corsa and Unplugged Performance for even thinking about doing this and giving a space for Tesla owners to take their vehicles on, because you could do this with a bunch of those other vehicles, but coming together as a community with Tesla owners, it's actually kind of a cool experience and cool vibe. That was just our first lap of the day, and of course shout out to Rafi for coming with us and showing us all the different turns and everything, a lot of different tips. And now it makes me want to think like, okay, what can be done next to the Tesla vehicle as we get better, as we continue to do this with everything. But now I think I'm gonna go try and jump into Rafi's car, and we'll get a couple clips of that and see how that goes. And if you're curious on the layout here, so basically this is like the staging area where people line up to get ready for the next race. Of course, there's people on the track right now driving around. They're gonna do their laps. It's about a 15-minute lap session, and then you pull off while this next group goes on after that. But pretty fun experience so far, and I can't wait to do it again. So we're here with Chris. Chris, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Chris. I've been to Tesla Corsa like 30-something times, I guess.
Holy crap. And so you hold a world record at one of these tracks for which year?
I believe the Tesla Model X first generation.
And today you're driving which vehicle?
The 2024 Performance Model 3.
Oh, okay. But that.
Oh, sorry.
vehicle you brought to the
I brought a all-wheel drive Cybertruck.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So right now we're in the advanced, and we're about to do a hot lap or a couple hot laps. I guess what are some like general tips, like right off the bat?
With most Teslas, you know, braking is always a thing to be wary of. So you always want to make sure that you use your brakes sparingly, especially if you don't have mods. So you want to make sure that you, at least for your hot laps, you're able to have all your brake efficiency. Other than that, regen optional. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm a fan of regen, but if you're really good at pushing it, that can also overheat your battery, so people turn it off.
I heard that,
And also tires as well. Always making sure your tires are deflated enough so you get that grip you really want. Three pretty big tips.
12 seconds later.
So we've done this a couple times already and all of our numbers has fell off. We had a number on the right side, 8, it's completely gone. But one of the top is still there, so we're still good. Alright, so we're going to do this one more time and then see how we do. And this time we're going to do it all by ourselves. Wow, so what a day. I gotta say, I highly recommend if you're any sort of speed junkie or you like performance, maybe if you like cars, I mean you definitely like cars if you bought a Model 3 Performance and you like speed, or even if you just like hanging out all day around like cool people and everything at a racetrack, because it's cool to be around that and hear all the different noises, and if you can even go on ride-alongs as well. Like I went on a ride-along with Chris, as you guys saw, just to really see like how does one take the turns and all the different corners and everything on a track like Buttonwillow. But very, very fun. And shout out to the team at Unplugged Performance, shout out to the team at Tesla Corsa, Moto, Luke, everybody, Brian, and everybody on the team, and the techs as well. Certainly it would be a different experience if I came alone and without the support of the whole team there. So that was really cool to kind of know that if you're going to be going on the track, there's someone helping you or that can help you if something were to happen. Thankfully, nothing happened on our couple of sessions. We were able to go up a couple different times, and we were able to get a 2-minute 17-second Buttonwillow time on our second try, which I don't know if that's good or not, but it seems like the benchmark or the number to hit is under 2 minutes, which of course we're not getting that anytime soon unless we go balls to the walls with performance parts and everything. But a couple things I learned, like safety is definitely the priority. It's not about being the fastest, it's just about having a good time and trying to figure out like what are the limits of you as a person and the vehicle out there. Like pushing it is fun and stuff, and understanding the track and how the vehicle operates is really the ultimate goal at the end of the day. There was like maybe 2 times, one time for sure where I almost lost out on my first lap completely with Rafi, but the second time I think I did a pretty good job and didn't lose it at all, but also I didn't try and push it like super hard as well. And on top of that, during the midday session, there was a little bit of a debrief where we talked about all the different dynamics of driving a Tesla vehicle on the track, like how to accelerate, how to brake, and how to really take turns so that your car doesn't go to its full limit and you lose control. But definitely highly worth it. If you're interested at all, definitely check out the link down below. I think they're having another Tesla Corsa in a few months. Let us know if you're going to be going to that one as well. But thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit that like if you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.